Welcome back to another episode of Ham Radio Playground. In this episode, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about some upcoming projects and what we got in the mail over the last couple of days. We've been working with some really great partners to bring some valuable content to you, the viewer. Let's show you some highlights of some of the stuff we've gotten in, things we'll be reviewing, things we'll be using in upcoming projects, and we'll discuss some of those projects. Our friends over at Gable Antenna sent us the CFP-2600. If you've not seen this antenna yet, I tell you what, I was purely amazed, if I can get the package back open, purely amazed at how light this carbon fiber antenna really is. This is crazy. Now, we've been discussing with Gable Antennas a couple different things that we want to demonstrate with this antenna, but we're trying to get confirmation before we give you false information. My first impressions, I can't wait not only to use this in an upcoming series of videos we're going to be doing, but also to take it in the field on a regular basis. This thing is so light, toss in a backpack, you don't even feel it's there. Crazy, crazy stuff. While we're on antennas, let's talk about this magic guy that is not going to fit on camera. This came to us from our friends over to BTech, and this will be used in an upcoming project where we're going to build a WinLink gateway and show you step by step how to build that gateway. This will then be permanently mounted for the purpose of using that WinLink gateway. Now, this is a 2 meter, 70 centimeter dual band antenna, no ground plane needed. So this is the NMO-HDA. And we purposely wanted no ground plane. Why? Well, that brings us to another product. By the way, thanks BTech for sending that over along with a cable. Our friends over at Look North Design sent us this lovely bag, but it's what's in the bag that is a little more important. We have a grounding strap, which we won't need with that Nagoya antenna, but a future antenna that I may use on this mount I'm about to show you, we might need that. We have nice cable, 15 foot. Got us a handy dandy instruction sheet. And the most important part, this round circle. No, that's just a protective cap, Kevin. Come on. This is a nice suction cup mount with a mount on it. Now, you have two options on this mount that you get. You can either do the trucker style whip antenna, 3/8 24, or you can get it with an NMO mount. Unfortunately, because of demand, they were out of the NMO mount, which is just a plate that goes on here. You unscrew these two bolts and you swap out the plate. So we have one on order. It will be coming. It's estimated. I'm just looking up on my board over here. Between December 15th and December 23rd. So they're a couple weeks out before we'll get that. However, we can still do a couple other projects with this mount in the meantime. My purpose for this, the suction cup mount, boom, nice, easy to put on, a window. Watch for a couple upcoming projects with this, and as we test it out, we test the durability, the strength, and eventually, we'll be putting an ATAS-120 on this for our new rig here at the studio. That's right, because we also got today in the mail from DX Engineering. No, they did not give it to us. No, we're not sponsored by them. We paid for this one. An Yaesu FT-710 Field. That'll be a permanent HF station we will have here in the studio that'll allow us to not only work with other projects, antennas, testing, but we can also do FT8. right here. FT4 right here. Or get on and use phone. I'm not a CW guy, so you won't catch me doing CW. However, at some point, I will learn CW, and we'll do some videos around that. So along the sides of this, we will also be testing another suction cup mount that is actually designed to be a flagpole holder. However, we are going to make use of it for our antenna. So, suction cup mount doesn't feel as durable as the one from our friends over at Look North Designs, but it still seems to be pretty solid. Different kind of mechanism where the handle folds down and then locks in place versus the push button where you keep pushing until it's totally secured. And then it has these straps to put on a piece of PVC on the outside over here so that you can run up and then use that as a kind of a mast or a mounting point, a pole to mount various antennas to. So we're looking forward to trying both of these and seeing which one works for our various operation, our various weights of antenna. I'm telling you right now, after holding both of them, I'm really liking this guy. However, you're talking, $1.50 versus I think this was maybe $10. I'd have to check what we paid for that on Amazon. When we do the full test video comparing the two of them, how well they hold up, especially here in the climate in Syracuse, New York, where it snows, it gets cold, it freezes. We'll let you know. Watch for that video coming up soon. And I'll give you the full pricing on it. If I have to, I am happy to buy a couple more of these because I am really liking these for various projects. And why am I looking to do that on a window? Well, our studio is in a commercial office building, and I have permission from the building management to put an antenna on the roof, but I don't want to have to constantly get a hold of maintenance every time I need to go on the roof and change something or try a new antenna or change out a wire if I want to put a wire antenna up there. So I want to find something that I can maintain here on a permanent basis without having a temporary solution where I put up a stand or run it off a mount on my truck and run the cable through the window. I want to mount to the outside of that window and see what will work for our operation. Obviously, it's got to be durable enough to hold this nice giant antenna for our WinLink gateway. And shout out to Mike into MAK. When he visited Syracuse, his complaint was there was no WinLink gateway. And I told him, hey, I got one coming. We will have it up and running for your next visit, Mike. No worries. Is it going to hold the ATAS? That's why we got the 710. We would love to play HF in here and allow the ATAS to go up and down automatically based on the bands we want to go to. All kinds of stuff. We got all kinds of projects on the board. We have a lot of content coming with step-by-step guides as well as step-by-step showing you. And, mail's been fun today. We got our stickers in for POTATrip. Not familiar with POTATrip? Go check the website, see what's coming. Sign up to be on the wait list. Interested in beta testing? Contact me. Email me. hamradioplayground@gmail.com. Let me know you want to beta test the software. We're looking to release the initial version within the next upcoming weeks, probably just before Christmas. Hint, hint. I feel like I'm missing something. What else came in the mail today, Kevin? Oh, yeah, our friends over to Crazy Neon sent us that guy. Thanks for getting that out fast and quick to us. That is a custom light-up sign with our logo. That's all I got for you today. This episode was short. We just want to share with you some of the stuff that we have working in the mix. We have a few other projects that I know I'm forgetting to talk to you about, but they'll all be coming soon. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video or give it a thumbs down. I don't care either way. Let me know. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And if you're not a subscriber, what the heck are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. However, it tells Google, who owns YouTube, as well as us, you're liking our content. You want to see more of it. Plus, when we hit 500 subscribers, we're giving away some radios. That's right. Some free radios. But you gotta be a subscriber. Alright, time for me to kick the sand off my feet, get out of the sandbox, off this playground, and back to work. Catch you on the next video.